Hello, my name is Taylor and I'm here to show you Monarch Money budgeting app through the lens of the mobile app. I have in prior video did the desktop version of Monarch Money and explained to you guys why I love it, why it's the best app, and why I use it with all my financial coaching clients these days, as well as for myself personally for the last year. And I'm excited to show you the app. The app is super useful, super slick. I will admit I do use the desktop majority of the time, and I'll show you how I use the app and why I use the app and why my clients are using the app. But as a lot of people do want the budgeting app, the mobile app, to work. And that's what they're going to be relying on as they implement their budget. And so I do want to show you all the key features that you can see, what the layout looks like, and any limitations that I can think of. So let's dive into it. All right, so first off, I'm just going to pull it up on my phone here. We have the dashboard. The dashboard is very similar to the desktop, where you can customize and rearrange this dashboard to show you what you want to see very first when you open your app. And there's a lot of different options as far as net worth, spending trends, November progress, see how you're doing as far as the goals you set for spending versus how you're actually spending. You can see your transactions at a glance, the first few, where income versus expenses are, if you've made any progress towards the goals that you're saving for, any reoccurring bills or expenses that are coming up, any subscriptions that are coming up. You can also see your investments and how they're performing and progress towards your goals. Now, this can all be updated, changed. You can unclick anything that you want. If you want to see your spending trends, like at the top, you can do that. All you have to do is click it and move to wherever you want to see the data that you're trying to get to the fastest. This app is designed for couples, business owners, really everyone. I think this is truly an app for everyone, but I really do like the features for couples because they do have their own login and they can customize their dashboard to meet their needs. So while one partner wants to see the net worth, the other person might want to just see, transactions or subscriptions that are coming up and that are due. The app is very easy to add your accounts. You can either click on that plus part at the top of the screen there and connect your bank accounts. That can connect to thousands of institutions, and it's very easy to do. You just log in with your bank account credentials through the app, and you can also move your data from Mint to Monarch, but I would recommend doing that in the desktop probably, because you're going to get a CSV file, and I don't even know where to start without a phone. So all right, so you have the layout of your all your accounts that you are wanting to connect, so it doesn't have to necessarily be just your spending accounts. It can be your investments, loans, and all that stuff. And then you have a list of all your transactions here, very easy, very within reach. So as you're going about spending, if you know, like, hey, I made some purchases the other day and I don't want to get on that desktop, I'm going to jump into the app and be able to recategorize very quickly. Now you're going to notice that there are emojis listed at this home page here instead of like showing you what the transaction is actually categorized. And that's really fun because the categories are very customized. You can delete any categories you don't want to use. You can add, you can section them off into whatever sections that you want. And then you can change the emoji. And you'll notice that's important on the app because you don't initially see what the category is. You'd have to actually just click on that transaction to read the category, but that's why you want your emojis to actually show, be indicative of the category, and you'll get used to that as you keep going. It makes for a very pretty layout, very fun way to work with your app, but that's kind of where some of those are. So once you categorize, you can also see like what account it came from. You can see, hey, there's been 24 other transactions that are just like this. So you can see this is a monthly thing. You can change the date. You can add notes right in here. So I recommend for clients when they're going to Amazon or Walmart, they write a note of what the transaction is actually for. So when you're going back, if you ever need to go back and look at your expenses, you can remember, oh, what are those like, $20, $30, $40 purchases on Amazon that we're making throughout the month. You can add your tags very easily. You can update and change these tags to whatever you need them to be. And then the really cool feature for couples is that you have this thing as mark as needs review, and then you can assign it to be reviewed by anyone in your household. So if you've added your partner, you can click on your partner's name and it'll notify your partner, hey, there's a transaction they need to review. So if you're seeing some things like from Amazon or out and about and you're like, I don't know what this is, I want to make sure my partner comes in and make sure that those are categorized correctly, you can actually send a push notification to their phone. And maybe that'll help instead of you have to be like, hey, like maybe you shouldn't change this transaction. I don't know. You might have to do that still too though. And for my business owner clients, you can take a photo of receipts, upload any data or photos for that transaction just right in the app. Super easy. You can just take a photo right from here so that you can keep monitoring those types of things that you need to for your business. And then you have cash flow. You can kind of see where all your money is going by category group. So the grouping that the category is in, or merchant, to see who is getting all of your money. And then you can also go through and toggle every single day or month in past months to see where you end up as far as income, expenses, and overall savings. You can view this on a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis as well. And then we have the budget. Budget is super useful, and this is where I have most of my clients going. So when I have them pull up the app, like I'm not really stressing about people knowing exactly where to put everything. Like normally that, as far as for my clients, I'm helping them get this app set up so they don't really need to be, adding their accounts and doing all this stuff like through the app. They can normally do it through the desktop, or like I'm helping them set up their categories so they don't have to necessarily do this through the app. But when you're in the app though, what I want them to be doing is going into this budgeting section right here and just saying, hey, where are we? How much do I have left in each of these categories? Can I make some decisions to help make sure that this month ends in a surplus? We can end with some savings. We can stick to the financial goals that we have. This is where I want them to be going, is pulling up Monarch and just going straight to budget. I tell them not to really worry about those other sections necessarily on a day-to-day basis. This is where you're going to be able to make decisions and really drive financial success, is this budgeting feature here. Now you can toggle between these two sections here. So you have budget, which is the plan that you set. This is the idea that you are going to, like, hey, I'm going to spend X amount, $50 on charity this month. Then you have remaining or actual. You can see what you have left in that category. So in this case, we have nothing left in charity. We cannot spend any more, and it's telling us, hey, maybe don't make another charitable donation because it's not in your budget. Or you can click on actual and say, oh, I've spent 50 here. That's great. My auto payment went through. Gas is almost at its max. We still have a little bit left over. And you can kind of see that very easily. And you can toggle between the two by just clicking on actual versus remaining, and you can see the opposite. I like to see the remaining so I know exactly what's left over. So I can say, hey, I have $232 left in my budget this month for home improvement. I am going to go buy those shelves that I wanted at Target, right? You can make purchase decisions that way. I do highly recommend coming into this part of your app, checking your budget every single time you go to spend money. Or, maybe it's just when you go out to eat, when you're going to, get takeout, when you are going to a specific store, or just every Sunday or something. Let's pick a day, pick a time, pick a trigger for you to come in and look at the budget as often as possible, because the more often you're looking at this, the more likely you're going to be able to take proactive strategy to maintain your budget. For example, if I never looked at my budget until the end of the month, I wouldn't be able to say like, hey, I have $227 left for the rest of November. How can I minimize how much I need to spend on groceries this month? Can I eat more grilled cheese sandwiches? Can I make sure I take leftovers home from Thanksgiving, right? Or whatever you need to do. You strategize. Maybe you're changing, like, hey, I'm not going to go try that new recipe because I know it's a big increase in groceries. Maybe I'll wait till next month to try the new recipe, and I'll just eat what's in the pantry this month so I can stay on track and on target for my budgeting goals. That is the goal for the app, and that's how you want to be using it as best as possible so you can see success in your budgeting efforts. And same with this, you can in the app forecast. You can go into different months if you know there's going to be a very expensive month, or if you're working on variable income, you have a bonus or commission check coming through and you want to look at what that's going to affect your, April, May, June budget. You can absolutely do that all just within the app. If you click on the little person icon up there, you can go to other sections in this app, for example, the reoccurring expenses, to see what bills are coming due and when, or what subscriptions you have. You can go check in on the progress of your goals. You can see these needs to be assigned accounts, but like you can see at this bottom, the bottom one, the auto fund, you can see how much further you need to go to reach that goal. Let's see here, going back to that section, you can also see your investments right from your app if you choose to connect your investments. Going back here, and then members, you can add a member to your household just right here. You can add, it'll send them a link to get signed up so that your spouse partner can have their own login to this app. And you can also add an advisor. And so that is what you would be doing if you wanted to get more help than just a budgeting app around budgeting, cash flow, debt management, and that sort of thing. You can, or if you have an advisor that's planning your retirement or the way you're spending in retirement, you're going to want to add that advisor in there and just send them make sure you get their permission, of course, but make sure they have the features to do that for you. But you can add your financial advisor to this app. For me and my clients, I actually, if you are looking to transition to Monarch, you haven't set it up yet. And of course, if you already have, if you're just kind of playing around trying to get more ideas of what features are available, I help my clients set up this app completely for them to take all the heavy lifting of figuring out all this stuff. And they get the app set up, they get a budget that is going to work for their lifestyle goals and values. They get a debt payoff plan and other features like that. And I pay for the app for them as long as we're working together. And so if you are looking to transition to Monarch and you're thinking, I might need more help than just setting up an app, maybe I do need more advice or education or accountability on how we are managing our cash flow day to day, some help in that regard, that is why Monarch is super awesome, because it really helps facilitate when you do outsource and hire help by having that advisor feature. And then you can also set up rules like I showed you in the desktop version. The more you use this app, the better and it's going to be for you, because you can set up these rules to make sure it categorizes things in a particular way for you. For example, if you have a business and you are charging the business account an Amazon purchase, you probably want to have that categorized as one of your business categories, not in your household shopping categories. And you can do that. So if you can set it up so if it comes from your business card, it'll always be categorized as a business shopping expense rather than a regular shopping expense. You could do this by a dollar amount. If it's less than or more than a certain dollar amount, you can have it categorized to a certain category. It's super, super easy to set these up and easy to do in the app, as you can see here. So then you have your other settings here. I highly recommend going into notifications and changing the way you're going to receive your notifications. They do send out a lot of push notifications, but I love that because you really can customize to see what kind of notifications you want. You can set it to look like, hey, if you have a transaction over a certain dollar amount, it will notify you, and that's a really useful thing. Or if you've been out of budget for certain categories or whatever, there's a lot of different ways you can customize your notifications, but I do know that they send a lot, and so be prepared for that and go and adjust that fairly quickly if that is the kind of thing that bugs you. It can all be turned off fairly easily. And then that's really about it for the app as far as key features. This app is about $100 a month. Not $100 a month, $100 a year to use, and it is well worth it if it helps you when you dive into your budget, and it helps you maybe say, hey, I'm not going to make that purchase this month, I'm going to wait till next month to buy that so my budget looks nicer. It will probably pay for itself in like 2 months, if not immediately. As long as it helps you rethink just a couple purchases throughout the year, you're going to be golden. So it's definitely well worth the cost. And again, if you are looking into getting this set up and you're thinking you might need more than just a budgeting app, you might need help, making sure you're on the same page with your spouse, kind of getting some more concrete goals, getting a debt payoff plan, setting up a budget that will work better for your lifestyle and needs, you can set up a call with me. I do free consults. We can see if financial coaching is right for you, and I will be sponsoring your app as we work together. But if you have any questions about Monarch, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I am here to help. Any questions that you have. And please subscribe to these videos. I'll be putting more content out around Monarch Money to help you be as successful as possible with this new budgeting app for you. So thank you so much.